All right. Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia are in the running for a big payday against Manny Pacquiao. Let's talk about that and what it means in the welterweight division in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel, subscribers. If you are not subscribed, subscribe. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody that watches these videos all the way to the end. You are very valuable to the channel. Also, thank you so much to my Patreons, to the people that support the live streams Monday through Friday and Sunday OG Boxing Talk with myself, Blood Boxing, KQKC Boxing, and Kurt Anderson. Now, let's get into this. Welterweight division. Got a lot of really good fights. Got a big fight coming up next weekend with Shawn Porter and Errol Spence Jr., the WBC champion and the IBF champion, fighting one another for the unification of those two belts. After next Saturday, the champions provided there's not a draw, will be down to 3 champions in the welterweight division from 4. One of the champions we know is Manny Pacquiao, Hall of Fame fighter, one of the best fighters to do it this century, incredible athlete, tons of spectacular moments having watched this guy fight, fought in the biggest fight, financially the biggest fight, and one of the biggest fights and most anticipated boxing matches in the history of boxing, Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather Jr. Now, Manny Pacquiao has left Top Rank Promotions, and he's with the Premier Boxing Champions. He's advised by Al Heyman, and in the latter portion of his career, he's getting his hands on a bunch of very high-profile fighters, and on pay-per-view, making a good amount of money for himself and solidifying his status as a Hall of Fame fighter and one of the best fighters to do it this century. His next fight, he just got done beating Adrian Bronner and Keith Thurman, and now it's rumored that his next fight is going to be between Mikey Garcia and Danny Garcia. That's a good matchup for him. At this stage in Manny Pacquiao's career, hey man, he could take a lot softer touch than that. And I do believe he's actually gradually picking up his level of competition to go from Adrian Bronner to Keith Thurman that has been out for a while with multiple surgeries, who didn't look good in his fight before that, to either a Danny Garcia or Mikey Garcia, who are pretty much the also-rans in fights against the two people that are looking to unify the belts, right? Mikey Garcia just got beat up and just one-sidedly mopped by Errol Spence Jr. And Danny Garcia had a very good close fight with Shawn Porter for the vacant WBC title, where they fought the fight before last for each of them, I do believe. I think since that fight, Danny Garcia has blitzed Adrian Granados, and Adrian Granados is a good, tough fighter. Probably should be at 140 pounds, but a really good, tough fighter nonetheless. And Mikey, yeah, so that was the two. Oh, and after that, before that, he lost to Shawn Porter, right? So really good fighters and a good, tough matchup. I think both of those guys are slight step up in competition from Keith Thurman because of their freshness and because of how active they've been. If Keith Thurman was at his absolute peak, obviously, I would say Keith Thurman would beat Mikey Garcia and beat Danny Garcia. I just don't really know if he was there. And I think I can say that safely, after the fight. I don't want to make excuses for the guy losing, too close to the fight. Respect to Manny Pacquiao for beating Keith Thurman. But they're the also-rans. But they're about the highest level of non-champions that you can get in the welterweight division. The only exception being maybe I think Danny Garcia is. Mikey Garcia, you got to win a welterweight fight. You know what I mean? Like, Mikey Garcia has not won a fight at welterweight yet. But Mikey Garcia Was a champion at 130, champion at 135, champion at he was a champion at 126, I do believe. Champion at 126, champion at 130, 135, 140, and he's going for it at 147 and fell short. But very good, very, very good fight, right? And a safer fight. And I do believe that if he does that, that's probably as far as Manny Pacquiao is gonna go. Because I think he'll get past Mikey Garcia. Danny Garcia, I'm not so sure about. I'm not so sure about Danny Garcia. I think that Danny Garcia is a tougher fight than Keith Thurman for Manny Pacquiao. And the reason that I say that is because of Danny's timing. And Danny is somebody that likes you coming to him. And if you come to him and you come into him and you banging with him, man, Danny Garcia can bang, man. And Danny Garcia's left hook is one of the best in boxing. And and it's in the front. It's in the front against Manny Pacquiao. So a straight right, I do, and somebody that's more technical than me can, clear if I'm wrong, but seems like a straight right left hook for Manny Pacquiao is something that if Manny Pacquiao gets hit by one of them from Danny Garcia, man, let me tell you, man, that's a big shot. Now the uppercut, and I do believe Danny Garcia also has a pretty decent uppercut, but those are the punches. The straight right and the uppercut are the shots that Juan Manuel Marquez used the most often, in my recollection, to cause Manny Pacquiao a lot of problems. Really, to me, Manny Pacquiao has bigger names on his resume, but him and Juan Manuel Marquez, as far as the quality of fighter, man, those guys are really what and what. And Danny Garcia would be a good fight. Now, what happens if Manny Pacquiao gets past these guys? I mean, there's nowhere else for him to go. He's not gonna fight Terrence Crawford because he should have, at least he shouldn't fight Terrence. I don't want to. Let me see. I'm gonna agree here with my man Bobby Atabib, and when I said, man, do you really want to see Manny Pacquiao fight too long and wind up getting laid out? And my man was like, yes, I do. But that's what's going to happen, man, if he gets in the ring with Terrence Crawford or Errol Spence Jr. I just think that is just going to be, I think that's just not going to be a good situation for him. But you got to give this guy a lot of credit. Since he left Top Rank, man, leaving Top Rank, this is another guy. And I don't get Terrence Crawford. Or if Terrence Crawford, I know you ain't gonna listen to this video, definitely not this deep into the video. But man, look what happened to Manny Pacquiao after Manny Pacquiao fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. with Top Rank. He got a fight with I think he had 3 fights left, 3 fights with Top Rank. One was another rematch with Tim Bradley. Then who did he fight after Tim Bradley? Jesse Vargas. Tim Bradley, Jesse Vargas, and Jeff Horn, right? And he had to travel to Australia to fight Jeff Horn. He comes to the PBC. Well, he breaks from them. He fights Lucas Matisse in an in-between fight, right? And that he basically promotes himself. Then he comes to the PBC and he gets Adrian Bronner, Keith Thurman, and either Mikey Garcia or Danny Garcia. All of those fights being on pay-per-view, all of those being the first 2 being very successful pay-per-views. The third is going to be just as successful, if not more successful, than the first 2. Especially if it's Mikey Garcia or if it's Danny Garcia. Because Danny Garcia has that Puerto Rican fan base that's going to come out for him, and pretty much everybody's going to want to watch that fight. I'll pay for that fight. I'll pay for the Mikey Garcia fight. I'll pay for the Mikey Garcia fight as well. But now, and then he doesn't have Bob Arum taking a chunk of his check out. And also, man, I wonder what happened to Manny Pacquiao can't fight, in the US because of tax problem stuff. Seems like maybe, he has a new advisor that helped him through that problem as well. But whatever the case is, man, I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens next with Mikey Garcia, with Danny Garcia, and with Manny Pacquiao. And that is, that's just a really, really exciting fight and a really good time in boxing in the welterweight division. And this is all happening aside from what, the top fight that everybody wants to see, which is Errol Spence Jr. versus Terrence Crawford. Obviously, provided that Errol Spence Jr. gets past Sean Porter, which I expect him to, and Terrence Crawford stays undefeated against the likes of Egis Klimas and whoever it is that Bob Arum can find for him to fight. So anyway, it is what it is. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Who would you rather have see Manny or Mikey and those guys fight? I wouldn't mind seeing a Mikey Garcia, Danny Garcia fight. But, after this, can Manny Pacquiao get past either one of those guys? Are we in a situation where if he does, then he'll be fighting one of the, the top two guys in the division? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.